Right, so I'm just finalizing my pre-shuffles and then we'll get into it. Okay. Right, I think that about does it. So, to everyone that's going to be tuning in, I just want to say hi and welcome to the channel. So today I'm going to be doing the full moon in Scorpio tarot reading and getting the key energies here for the water signs now, okay? So the last element that I need to take a look at this time. So just to let you know, these will be shadow work readings. We'll be really taking a look at this Scorpionic energy that will be very much prominent over the next 24 hours and even into the next 72 hours, okay? Because with that energy, it really looks at and talks about the energy of releasing and purging, okay? Things that no longer reside on the cycle that we are entering. It is the end of one cycle and the birth of a new karmic cycle, okay? So it's talking about kind of a death, rebirth kind of energy, releasing the old and embracing the new. But also it takes us to take a look at our fears, okay? So the things that we've been suppressing in our subconscious mind, taking a look at our desires at this time, and also really just understanding the lessons from the previous cycles so that we don't find ourselves on the same hamster wheel, okay? Pretty much. That's the key gist of things. So just to explain the format of the reading, because it is a bit different from my usual, I'll be getting the main energy of the shadow using the Dark Mirror Oracle deck. So this will be looking at the general energy that's being addressed at this time for your sign. Then we'll move on to the Moonology deck in order to pull the key energies here that's coming in the form of advice, okay, from the cosmos. And then we'll be pulling 3 tarot cards from the Wild Unknown tarot deck that will really look at your fears at this time, as well as the karmic cycle that you are leaving behind, as well as your desires, okay? So that's the layout there. So I just need to let you know, as you already know, this is a general reading, so it may or may not apply to you. You can look at this in regards to your sun sign if you want, but you would get the most benefit by taking a look at your moon placements, as well as your black moon Lilith and your asteroid Lilith placements. So if you're not aware of these aspects of your chart, you can calculate this through the links that I've provided in the description below. That will take you to your natal chart, and the second link will take you to the site that will allow you to calculate your Lilith placements, okay? So you can get it there. Don't worry if you miss anything in this stream. You can rewind the stream if you're tuning in live. If you're watching the replay, it's here on the channel, so no need to worry there. Okay, so let's see. So the first sign I'm going to be looking at is the sign of Cancer. All right. So, hang on a sec. My cards got a little bit jumbled there. So let me just turn those around. Okay. So, Cancer, what is it the shadow's revealing at this time? What is it that needs... okay, that came out very clear. So, you've got the child I was meant to be. Now, this card is actually the most colorful and the lightest in the entire deck, because this is talking about the inner child, okay? That part of ourselves that is carefree, that freely loves and forgives and embodies the higher aspects of ourselves. You know, it's really pure ascendant energy, you know, that divine birthing energy, as I was saying, death and rebirth, okay? So this is talking about the healing of the inner child. So that kind of work is going to be very, very important to you at this time, Cancer, okay? There's a lot of healing and a lot of inner work that needs to happen in regards to the inner child, so that the wounds of the past isn't preventing you from embodying this newness, this energy of playfulness, of joy, of bliss, of, love and tenderness and forgiveness, right? That's the energy you're being asked to move in towards, okay? So you have to release yourself from your past in order to do that, okay? Nurture this new beginning, even within yourself. There's a seed that has been planted, so you have to tend to it like it's a newborn baby, all right? So interesting. I really love that for you as an energy Cancer, because I know that a lot of you have been really going through it. It's not been an easy time for yourself, so it's definitely needed, this inner child work, okay? So let's have a look in regards to the advice with the Moonology deck. So what's the advice here to help Cancer in the process of healing their inner child? Thank you. So you have new moon in Virgo, okay? So you could have Virgo placements, so you could be very much embodying this energy in order to do this work. So the card here is a time to give rather than take, right? So again, it's like I was telling you, this playful energy, this energy of nurturing, embodying the higher aspects, giving freely, loving freely, living from the heart space. That's something naturally you're very good at, Cancer, okay? You do that willingly. That's your natural state of being. So you've been called to go back into your innate state of being, that in which you embodied when you were very, very young, before, life happened essentially to you, okay? So this is what you're being asked to embody at this time, that energy of the playful spirit of the child, the unconditional love that you would normally give, right? Before all of this trauma or difficulty came into your life, right? That's where you're being asked to surrender and to give willingly, to love openly, and that blessing will be filtered back tenfold, okay? Hi, Frank. Yeah, this is for Cancer, okay? This is Cancer's reading. If you missed it and you want to tune into that, you can rewind, okay? But yeah, so this is the key energy here that's helping you to really do that inner child work. It's to open your heart center, really work on your heart chakra so that you can get past these barriers that you've built, get past these wounds, right? And to just love authentically, love openly, express your true feelings, operating from your true state of being, okay? It's like that term. I was literally talking about this with my boyfriend, Rob, earlier. Or it might have been yesterday. We were talking about unfucking yourself, right? That term of that's really popular at the moment. You see it in a lot of posts, like, it's time to unfuck yourself. It's pretty much like that. It's undoing the damage, the conditioning, the negative reinforcements, okay, that are pressed upon us throughout our lifetime. So it's really important to do that deconditioning work and to really tap into your inner child, okay? So that's what's going to help you moving forward, and that's what's going to help release toxic connections, toxic cycles, and free you from any past trauma, okay? So let's have a look then in regards to the tarot. So I hope you guys are well. For those of you who are tuning in. And I hope that these energies will serve you very well. I know if you use them, they will absolutely will. So I hope you are nice and safe and cozy right now. Okay. Because, to me, like, happiness is coziness. That's just kind of how I operate, I have my sun in Cancer, my moon in Virgo. So, I'm all about the coziness. All right. So let's take a look in regards to the tarot then. So we'll look at your fears, as I said before. We'll then look at the karmic cycle that you are leaving behind. You'll be exiting at this time. And then finally, we'll look at your desires, okay? All right. So Cancer. The first card you have in your placement of your fears is the Father of Swords, okay? So this is the King of Swords, air energy. You could be dealing or have been dealing with an Aquarius, as well as Gemini or a Libra, or you could have these placements. Either way, this is really talking about it's like authoritarian kind of energy, okay? Very domineering. It can be very stubborn. Oh, well, I wouldn't say stubborn. I just think very sharp, very sharp-tongued, right? So there could have been someone from your past that you saw as very cutting, right? Their words cut like a knife, like this sword here. That may have been very authoritarian, that may have been very controlling in some way, right? And you're trying to free yourself from connections and individuals that embody this kind of energy, right? Especially if you had a parent that was like this, like a mother or a father or a grandparent that raised you, and they were very much like, you know, very strict, very much on your case, you know, that made you feel powerless in some ways, right? So you may be trying to free yourself from people who embody that energy at this time, but you're afraid that maybe the only way you can do that is to embody this energy yourself, which you may have been doing a little bit already at times, in order to protect your energy, in order to defend your inner child, right? Because you knew that your inner child took a hit over the years. So you may have embodied this energy a little bit, that of the person that you know, saw as detrimental, in order to protect your inner child, right? So you may be afraid that because you've had to step into this energy yourself just to defend yourself, to protect your inner child, that you are now going to embody that energy. But I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like this is something that you had to experience, okay? You had to experience it from the other side, right? And see how easy it is to transition into that if you go through these kinds of situations, especially from a young age. So it gives you that awareness of where this energy could come from in regards to that person, why they embodied that. So you have this understanding, but you can release yourself from this energy. And I feel like that's what you're doing, okay? With that heart space opening up. So in regards to your karmic cycle that's coming to an end, very much attached to this situation, you have the Nine of Swords in reverse, okay? More air energy. So yeah, this talks about depression, anxiety, possibly even eating disorders, possibly even body dysmorphia, you know, things of the mental health nature. I feel like may have afflicted you at times, right? Because of what you went through growing up, or what you went through your adolescence, with your first relationships. It can manifest in so many different circumstances with different people, right? But I feel like you are purging a lot of that now. I feel like you're getting to a space where a lot of those learned behaviors, a lot of those limiting or detrimental thought processes that you had, coping mechanisms that you had just to protect, like I said, protect your inner child from the pain, from the trauma that you experienced, is being released, right? Is being given up into the universe. It's being healed. It's being worked on. So you're not going to feel the same as you did, right? You're coming out of this space now. So you will get to a point where you won't probably even recognize yourself, because the things that would concern you before, that would get you into certain mental states, will not be triggered for you anymore. You won't see it in the same way anymore. So you won't have the same thought processes. It's almost like the universe is doing a little bit of cognitive behavioral therapy on you right now. You know, it's that kind of energy. So you're not going to see things in the same way. You're not going to have the same reactions to certain triggers that you used to have, right? So you are being freed from this energy. You know, you are freeing yourself from the past. And the best way to do that is to love freely, to give your love freely to those who are deserving of it, to connect with your inner child, to love your inner child freely. The best way you can extend that part of yourself and offer that love freely is to first give it to yourself, to your inner child. Your inner child needs it the most. So give it to your inner child, and then you'll be able to express that towards others, right? So in regards to your desires at this time, you have the King of Wands in reverse. So this is fire energy, okay? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, King of Wands in reverse. So it's interesting. This is in your fears. This is in your desires. You see the difference here. Very, very different energies. So I think you want someone who's more affectionate, that's more open, that's more expressive and passionate towards you. But I don't think you want it to come from a place of lust. I think you want to bridge connections that come from a place of genuine love, unconditional love, right? Not just fleeting desire, fleeting passions, fleeting interest, attraction, right? And I feel like you don't want to be reliant on someone else to heal this aspect of yourself, right? You don't want it to become a codependent situation either. You may have found yourself in codependent relationships in the past, and you're breaking free of that also. So what you're looking for essentially is someone who understands, someone who is very committed, that understands your needs, understand that it's a process that you're going through, and that is going to be tender with you, that is going to be understanding, right? That's what I'm getting from this. You want someone who is affectionate, but is also very, very loving and committed, right? So some of you may be single right now, or you may be in a relationship or entering a new relationship where you feel that energy and you feel like that's what's also going to help you to come out of this feeling of defense mode and open your heart space up to love, essentially, right? That this new connection, this relationship that's formed, or something that you want in the near future is going to allow you to express, allow you to open up emotionally. Okay, that's what I get from it. So I hope that helps you, Cancer. I know that was a really deep reading. I didn't know it was going to go quite into those territories. But this is the point. This is the point of the shadow work, right? That it's going to be deep in places. There's going to be certain energies that come up, and yeah. So I hope that helps you, right? So I'm just going to do a quick shuffle, and then we'll move on to the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio, which is I'm very, very keen and interested to look at, particularly with this full moon in your sign, Scorpio. So very, very, very curious as to what's going to come up for you. All right. Ooh. Always end up with cards at the moment that just turn the other way. I'm not sure what's going on with that. It doesn't usually happen with this deck either, so it's very strange, very strange. Okay. So I'm just going to do a couple of shuffles and then we'll get into it. So if you're alive, if you're on the stream, why not say hi so I can see who you are? Because, I do like a bit of social interaction. So drop by and say hi. Okay. So one more shuffle and then we'll get into your reading. Okay. So Scorpio, let's see. What is this shadow revealing at this time? What is it that's being revealed in order to be healed? What else is being shown? So the card, sorry if you heard that. The first card you got is in regards to the general energies of the shadow. You got the calling of the storm, okay? Calling of the storm. Awesome. This is like nature magic, okay? This is earth energy pretty much. That's what I associate it with, okay? So you may be tapping into your earth aspects, particularly now that we are in Taurus season, okay? So you may be using that energy, Taurus energy, to invoke the magic that lies in the natural world, okay? Even if you can't explicitly go outside right now, you're calling upon the elements of nature, using nature magic to call up the storm. And what that's talking about is not chaos and destruction, but this is talking about using Mother Earth's energy, tapping into the frequency of Mother Earth, using the elements to call upon the winds of change, okay? Good, bad, and indifferent. Clearing out of old energies, embracing the new as one whole and complete cycle, right? Powerful, powerful. And I'm not surprised this come up for you, Scorpio, because this is your time, right? You are a major catalyst in this shift that's currently taking place, right? So I'm not surprised this came up for you at all, because you are, as I said, not only are you a catalyst, but you are also a conduit, essentially. Okay, you are literally the conduit at this time. So here you are invoking the energies, the wrath of Mother Earth, in order to clear out the old and embrace the new. Okay, changes, positive changes are coming in. So while that might sound a bit scary and a bit ominous and the unknown, in the long run, it's going to be for the highest good. Okay, so that's why you're kind of being tapped on the shoulder right now to do this work. Okay, so the best thing you can do is focus on your inner work, and then using that energy to tap into the frequency of the planet, right? To raise its frequency, raise the vibrations of the collective consciousness as well. Okay, so let's have a look at the advice then. I already gave you a little bit of advice there. That was just what was coming through directly, but let's see if the Moonology deck has anything to add. Hi Lauren, it's good to see you. Thanks for dropping by. You have a lot of Scorpio. Wow, okay, that's cool. So yeah, maybe you're being tapped on the shoulder then. Well, I would believe so. I think any Scorpio that's seeing this needs to hear this message, because you are being tapped on the shoulder in some way, some shape or form, to do this amazing work within yourself and to use that energy to raise the vibration of the collective. Okay. So the advice card you got here from the Moonology deck is don't let pride get in your way. Full moon in Leo. Okay, Leo energy, fire energy. So what it's talking about here is while you are understanding, or you may be feeling like you are being tapped on the shoulder by the universe, that there is a calling, there is a task that you're being given at this time, it's important that you keep your energy grounded, okay? Especially right now, because with the full moon being in your sign, Scorpio, all of those aspects of yourself, this wondrous energy that you have that's very transformative, it's very adaptive, highly spiritual energy. You also have this Lilith energy, okay? There's that very supercharged shadow aspects, okay? So you're going to be feeling very sensual, very sexual. People are going to be drawn to all aspects of your energy. So just be aware of that. So don't be surprised if people approach you in ways that you don't expect. Don't be surprised if people find you very appealing right now. But just be aware to ground that energy, to balance your ascendant and shadow energies, okay? Because your Lilith is going haywire right now, okay? So you got to keep her in check a little bit, is all I would say. So that's the key warning here. But otherwise, like, you're flying, you're on top form otherwise. So just be aware of that energy, okay? Okay, so let's have a look in regards to your fears and your karmic cycle that's currently playing out, and then your desires. So Scorpio, let's have a look. Well, there's too many, too many. Last one for Scorpio. Okay, thank you. All right, so the first card you got from the tarot in regards to your fears, you have the Two of Wands in reverse, fire energy, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. So with the Two of Wands in reverse and your fears, it's like you're afraid of your energies colliding, essentially. Like I was saying, it's important that you create that balance, and I think you feel the need to balance out your ascendant and your when we talk about shadow energy, when I talk about the higher self and the shadow self, I also refer to the energies as ascendant and infernal, okay? So if you hear those terms, that's what I'm talking about, your higher self and your shadow, the ascendant and the infernal. And I feel like you understand how important it is to balance the two and have them work in tandem rather than at odds. So you're afraid that at this time, because you're feeling this increase in vibration, increase in energy, that you're having a lot of downloads, maybe directly from the universe, from the source. You have a lot going on spiritually, emotionally. You must be feeling all sorts of things as a result. You might be afraid of your own power at this time. because you're afraid that if things are not balanced, especially like I said with that Lilith energy, whoa, the storm can become a shitstorm very quickly. So it's being very aware of that and knowing how important it is to find the balance and know when to stand on your own 2 feet, but when also to call in support, okay? That it's all right to say that, okay, I'm willing to be a conduit, but I need you to help me with this, or I need to be able to see this clearly, or I need a little bit of assistance with protecting my energy or balancing my energy. You're very welcome to do that. You don't have to stand alone, okay, is what I'm saying. So if you need a little bit of assistance in some aspect, don't be afraid to call that in, okay? No one's an island, as I always say. So in regards to the karmic cycle that's currently playing out for you, you have the 9 of Wands in reverse. Some more fire energy. I feel like there's a lot of Leo energy coming through here, especially with that card, Don't Let Pride Get in Your Way, full moon in Leo. So you may have Leo strongly in your chart, or you may have a lot of fire placements in general. Either way, I feel like with the karmic situation that you're kind of leaving behind very soon, if not right now, you understand that there's no progress to be made in the situation, that it kept you in a lower vibration, that it was actually detrimental to this growth, okay, to this spiritual growth journey that you're on. You're understanding that it doesn't bring you any guidance, it doesn't bring you any clarity, it doesn't bring you any insights, right? It's just keeping you further away from the goal, essentially. So however this situation is playing out, whatever this situation is, only you will know exactly what this is. But I think that if this reading is relevant to you, you'll know what aspect of your life needs addressing, what karmic cycle keeps playing out, and it feels like it's keeping you away from your true power, that's keeping you away from ascending to the level that you're currently being pulled along, right? So you're releasing it. It may be certain habits that you have, okay, certain tendencies that you have when you don't have the aspects of self in balance, when you're not keeping yourself in check, right? Pulling yourself up when you need to. So it can be in relation to connections that you have, but I also feel like more than anything, it's self-discipline, right? That's what you're being called to do. Have that self-discipline. Understand when to surrender and when to take control, take charge, right? Finding that balance also. All right. And then that's what's going to free you from these repetitive cycles where you feel like things are not changing, or you feel like you're actually moving backwards or further away from where you actually want to be. All right. It's having the discipline to keep yourself in check, to keep yourself focused on the target, but also knowing when to call in for assistance. Okay. So in regards to the what am I saying? Hang on now. In regards to what it is that you desire at this time, you have the Page of Cups in reverse, so water energy, your energy for once, okay? The first time in this reading, your energy, Scorpio, okay, as well as Pisces and Cancer. So with the Page of Cups in reverse, I feel like what's essentially happening here with your desires at this time is that you pretty much are like, I've got me. Like, I don't feel like I need really anyone else to fulfill me or to fill my cup. I've got myself, right? And that's sure, I have connections. There's people I admire. There's people that I love. There's people that I hold dearly to me. But I feel like right now, you're kind of just wanting to release. You're wanting to explore. You're wanting to, I feel like some of you are wanting to be single, to be honest with you. If you're in a relationship, I feel like for those of you this reading applies to, you want to be single. You want to explore your options. You want to explore your sexuality. You want to explore your interests in that way. You want to tap into the more primal aspects of yourself, because maybe you feel like you've been exercising constraint because of a situation that you were in, and now you kind of want to unleash yourself on the wild. And I don't mean like sleep around with everyone, but I just mean like you want to explore that part of yourself, your sensuality, right? Because you may have felt restricted, or you may felt like you were maybe in a commitment or some kind of relationship, or you were dating someone that wasn't really aligned to you, that didn't have the same interests, that wasn't maybe as sensual as you, maybe it wasn't as sexual, maybe they didn't have that loving intimacy that you need in a romantic partner, right? You'll know how this applies. So you're like, okay, I'm kind of done with that now. I'm done with the mundane. I need someone who's on my wavelength. I want to explore this part of myself more because it's very prominent energy for you. Like I said, maybe that part of you's even been lying dormant for a while, and now it's really woken up with this transition, right? The full moon transition in your sign. You're like, okay, now's the time for me to do this. Like I'm done kind of just downplaying my energy and downplaying who I truly am. There's nothing wrong with me embodying this divine aspect of my sensuality, the sacred feminine aspect, right? So that's kind of what you're stepping into, I feel like, at this time. That's what you're wanting to explore. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just saying, absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's all about self-exploration. So I say go for it, Scorpio, okay? You know what's right for you. If you feel like this is what you need to do at this time because you've not really been able to get a better understanding of your earthly needs, then go for it, right? You know what you need to do right now. So I hope that helps you in some way, Scorpio. I feel like, you know, your energy is just supercharged right now in so many aspects, especially spiritually and sexually. Okay, so you just have to balance the two energies because they're very intertwined at the moment, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but just don't allow the shadow and the ego, as the warning shows here, to override those aspects. Okay, so just be aware of that and you'll be all good. All right, so I'm just going to have another shuffle and then we'll finally go into the sign of Pisces. And then that will conclude the full moon readings, at least for this time. But yeah, these have been really fun. I'm really enjoyed doing these. It's been, like I said, it's a new layout. This is a different reading than I usually do. But it just felt so right for the full moon in Scorpio. It was just like, felt like the right reading to do. And that's the thing, like on my channel, if you've watched any of my other readings, such as like the monthlies or the general shadow work readings that I do, there is a standard layout, right? There's a standard spread that I tend to use. But when it comes to specific one-off readings like this, I always create like a unique spread specifically attuned to those energies, okay? So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're finding these useful. And as I said, if you missed any part of it, you can rewind or you can rewatch it on my channel because it will be going live straight afterwards. And as soon as I come off this, I will be adding the timestamps as well. So you'll be able to go to the description, click on the links to calculate your placements, and then actually click on the timestamps, right, for your specific sign. So I'll just have a few shuffles of the tarot and then we'll go into the final sign, as I said, Pisces. All right. So a couple of shuffles. And one more for luck. All right, so let's have a look then. Pisces. Hi, Amaris. Nice to see you. Welcome. So, Pisces, let's have a look. What is the shadow self revealing at this time for you in order to be healed, transformed, released? What is the shadow self revealing for the sign of Pisces? Interesting. Bride in a cage, right? You can see she's got like a skull face. I know it's a little bit dark in here. You have the skull face, the bridal cage, and then the bridal dress, and then you have the neon lasers around her, okay? Bride in a cage. So what this is communicating here is the obsession with the perfect, okay? Perfectionism. Waiting so long for things to be so, you know, oh, it has to be like this, it has to be like that, you need to be like this, you need to be like that. Waiting so long for things to come together in this imagined, right, reality, things being absolutely perfect in your mind's eye and the reality matching that, to the point where you'll waste away. You'll waste away before it actually gets there. So that's the literally the meaning of the card here, right? And in regards to this reading for you, Pisces, I feel like because you've had a lot of emotional letdowns, I feel like a lot of relationships that you've navigated through have been disappointing, that have nowhere near matched your vision of what you thought your relationships would be like, particularly if you have been engaged or even married. I feel like, you know, it never met what you imagined maybe as a kid, as an adolescent, where you thought your married life or your engaged life would be growing up. It never met the expectation, or even just relationships never quite met your expectation. They always fell short in some way. You always felt like maybe you were the one giving so much and you wasn't getting anything in return, or very little. There wasn't that emotional fulfillment. There wasn't that thought of, you know, happy ever after, you know, coming across from this person that you're dealing with. So maybe you're just growing tired and weary of waiting for something that never seems to come around, right? So maybe that's what's being purged by your shadow at this time, that maybe you're having to reassess how you look at things, reassess how you approach relationships moving forward, that maybe not all relationships are meant to last forever and ever. And actually, maybe certain connections come in order to teach you something, teach you a valuable lesson that will help you grow and nurture. So when you do come across someone that is right for you at that time, that does have the potential for something possibly even lifelong, you are ready. You have the tools, you have the awareness, right? You have the experience to know what makes a good, long-lasting connection, right? Or even, you know, a very powerful soul connection. So interesting. All right, so let's have a look in regards to the advice from the Moonology deck. Okay. So I'm not going to be taking that many. But let's have a look. What's the advice here for Scorpio? Not Scorpio, Pisces, in relation to this energy. Okay, so from the Moonology, you got have faith in your dreams, waxing crescent moon. I love this card. Look how beautiful those colors are. And those flowers reaching up to the moon. Have faith in your dreams. Understand that you are growing, okay? That you are gaining wisdom, that you're gaining, like I said, the tools, the nutrients, the understanding, the much needed fuel, right? To reach you, to help you grow and reach towards your dreams, right? So that's it. What you need to know is that your dreams are not unfounded. It's just maybe the way you're approaching them or the way you're looking at them isn't quite aligned to what it is that you actually want, right? There may be some things that you need to reassess. Maybe there's some perfectionist traits that you need to address within yourself. Maybe because there were these feelings of inadequacy growing up, or feeling like you can never meet the expectation of your parents or those around you, right? Or just putting a lot of pressure on yourself to succeed, right? Wherever it stems from. It's asking you to really look at that energy, where it comes from, and understand that people are not perfect. Neither are you, okay? But that's okay. And that maybe your dream won't take shape exactly as you envisioned it, but that doesn't make it any less valid. It doesn't mean it's not going to bring you great happiness, right? And that your dreams are worth maintaining. It's just the way you envision it that might change. All right. So that's beautiful. I actually really like that energy for you, Pisces. You know, that's very much hopeful energy. That's a very optimistic energy. Okay. So I really, really like that for you. Okay. So let's have a look in regards to the tarot then. So what is it that you're being shown in regards to your fear, the current karmic cycle that's playing out and being drawn to a close, and finally your desires? So in regards to your fears, as we said, you have the 5 of Swords in reverse. So this is air energy, okay? So we're talking about Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. You could be dealing with any of those signs. You could have it in your placement somewhere. Either way, I feel like what's being communicated here is the difficulty and the fear of letting go, of detaching from old habits, old thought processes, old ideas, right? Old concepts of what needs to take place, of what needs to happen, of how to get to where you want to be. It's like that very left brain logical reasoning, okay? So you'll find it very hard to detach from that, of how to make it come together, surrender and control, okay? Because you're trying to control every little aspect. So everything goes according to plan and it looks like this. But it's learning to release that you're struggling to embody at this time. That's the energy you're struggling with, is releasing the need to control every little aspect and have things perfectly aligned to this vision, okay? But that's what you're being called upon to do. And while you know that it's necessary, that it's actually going to be freeing for you, I feel, you are struggling with that a little bit. There is a bit of fear around that, but I think you will do it. I feel like that's where you're headed right now. So in regards to your karmic cycle that's currently playing out and that's drawing to a close, you have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So this is Earth energy, talking Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So yeah, I think you understand that while it's important to have dreams, dreams can easily become obsessions if the energy becomes imbalanced, right? So I think you're understanding the need to when to surrender and when to take things in your stride and move, take slow, careful steps, right? No need to rush, no need to push, just go with the flow. Let the energy flow, right? Organically. Allow things to come together, right? For foundations to be built. And you're understanding that there's no need to try to micromanage every little aspect of this relationship or relationships in general, okay? That's only going to keep you in the same loop where, your desires and your wishes and your wants and your dreams becomes obsessions. And then it brings you further away from obtaining that dream. So you're understanding that now. And like I said, you're understanding the need to surrender control and let go, right? So that's what I see you doing. That's what's happening. So that chapter is coming to a close, finally. And then in regards to your desires at this time, you have the Justice in reverse, okay? The Justice card. So this is Libra energy. You could be dealing with Libra currently or have that strongly in your placements. But either way, I feel like what is being communicated in the position of your desires is that you understand that things can't move forward if there isn't equal give and take, right? That in any relationship, any type of connection, there has to be a bit of push and pull, that there has to be balance, equilibrium, right? Give and take. And that the other person has to be accounted for also. That while your will is important, and it's important to express that, you also have to be willing to listen to the other party, to the other side, okay? What the other person's wishes are. Because maybe you were so fixated on this dream that you had, the vision and how it would look, that you didn't factor in what this would mean for the other person, right? So you're starting to understand that, and you're starting to take into account, right, the need to understand the wishes of another, the will of another, right? The input of another. Because maybe you were so caught up in planning this, planning that, doing this, doing that, that the other person didn't even get to have a say in anything, right? And they felt very left out. They felt like even though this involved something very significant in their life, they wasn't even an active participant in it, that they were just a bystander watching their life unfold. So maybe you're understanding where that could have sabotaged your connections in the past, and the need to surrender control and allowing it to be a collaborative effort rather than you controlling every aspect and dictating to this other person, to this partnership, right? So that's what you want to do. You kind of understand that while you're finding it difficult and there's still that hesitancy to surrender control to another, you understand that needs to take place. So you're working on it. That's what I feel like. You are working on that. So Pisces, I hope that helps. I hope that makes sense. You know your situation. You know how that applies to yourself. That's just the key energies here. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. As I said, you can take a look at this reading or these readings, the full moon readings, in regards to your moon signs and also your asteroid Lilith and black moon Lilith, okay? So if you don't know the placements for those signs, you can take a look at the description for this video and you'll see 2 links there to help you calculate that. And you can rewind or you can simply rewatch this on the channel, all right? So it was awesome doing these reads. I had a great time. I hope you found it informative, useful in some way. As I was saying in my previous videos, you can find me on social media. So if you wanted to just, drop by, say hi, let me know how you're getting on. If any of the readings were helpful for you, feel free to drop me a message. I'm always open and I'm always welcoming of that. It's always nice to connect with new people, especially those of you who have been tuning into my channel. And yeah, if you do want a personal reading, you can take a look at that information on my Facebook page. If you go to the services page, you'll see the pricing and the types of spreads that I offer for paid readings. And I also have information as to where you can book, okay? So you have a calendar there, you can choose your time and date, and I'll confirm it once payment's been made. So I hope that helps you. It was really fun talking to you guys. I hope you use this energy to transform and do the inner work that is needed. It can be very beneficial for you to the point where it can really take you in a very, very positive direction. It can help you release a lot of the burdens from the past. So do use this for your highest good. I am sending you so much love, so much support. And yeah, I will speak to you guys again very soon. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. It's been amazing. And yeah, I will speak to you soon. I'm not sure what lives I will do next. So stay tuned for the announcement. I always put announcements on the channel. I always post a little video, so keep an eye out for that. But I will do another one very soon. And with regards to the May readings, the monthly readings, I will continue doing that from tomorrow. I believe I have a video to upload tonight or edit tonight at least. So I'm going to do that very soon. So yeah, so the monthlies will continue and I hope to have all of them done by Sunday evening. So it doesn't drag on too far forward. So for now, sending you all the love, as I said. I hope you have a very nice day or evening, depending on your time zone. And I will speak to you guys soon. Bye, 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 bye.